The old Victorian house loomed over Lila like a specter from the past. Its peeling paint and boarded-up windows stared back at her as if warning her to stay away. But curiosity, like a persistent itch, drove her closer. Lila sat alone in her small bedroom. The only light came from the laptop perched on her desk. The screen flickered as she watched a video titled The Haunting of Hollow Manor. The room felt colder with each passing second, and her eyes were glued to the chilling scenes unfolding before her. Its windows darkened and lifeless. A cold shiver ran down Lila's spine as she realized the house looked eerily similar to one she had seen in her dreams. "This can't be real," she whispered to herself. The whispering shadows on the screen seemed to answer her in a language only she could understand. Shadows twisted and elongated, forming shapes that seemed to beckon Lila closer. The whispers grew louder, calling her name with increasing urgency. Her heart pounded in her chest as she leaned in, unable to tear her eyes away. "Lila, Lila," the voices chanted, sending a chill through her very soul. As the minutes ticked by, the room seemed to grow darker, the chill more pronounced. The whispers seeped out from the laptop, echoing around her. "Who's there?" she called out, but the only response was the relentless chant of her name, now sounding as if it surrounded her. A ghostly apparition that seemed to stare directly at Lila. Her breath caught in her throat as she felt a presence behind her. The air turned icy. Slowly, she turned her head, her heart pounding like a drum in her ears. In the corner of her eye, Lila saw the shadows recede, the whispers fading into silence. Without a second thought, she slammed the laptop shut and bolted from the room, her feet barely touching the ground. "I need to get out of here," she gasped, her voice barely a whisper as she fled into the night, leaving the haunted echoes behind her. Now, outside, the night air was a shock to her system, but the oppressive feeling of dread that had filled her room followed her out. The old Victorian loomed behind her, a silent sentinel in the darkness. Its windows, like empty sockets, seemed to watch her every move. Fear lent speed to her steps as she hurried away from the house, its menacing silhouette growing smaller in her rearview mirror. Safe at last in her room, Lila collapsed onto her bed, her heart still pounding from her mad dash. The door, once a portal to the unknown, now slammed shut against the wall, offering her the flimsy comfort of a locked room between her and whatever lurked in the shadows beyond.